At St Louis tribe, not far from New Caledonia's capital Noumea, Indigenous Kanaks are in mourning. 2 young men are being buried after they were shot and killed by French police. Only a few months ago, another young man here was also shot.
Ce sont que les Kanaks qui sont visés, ce sont que des jeunes qui sont visés.
The whole village is barricaded, with police allowing people in and out just a few hours per day. Authorities say the 2 men were shot during an arrest of suspects for the attempted murder of police officers, and that nearly 300 shots had been noted in the area in recent months.
Pour nous, c'est une situation qui est inhumaine.
Kanak leaders say they don't condone violence against police, but say young people feel they are victims too.
Ce sont des jeunes qui se sont levés pour la lutte. Ce sont des jeunes qui croient au combat, qui ont foi à ce que demain on puisse se retrouver des jours meilleurs. C'est un ras-le-bol du quotidien, c'est un ras-le-bol des inégalités sociales, c'est un ras-le-bol de la marginalisation de la jeunesse, des familles qui n'ont pas de travail, des familles qui n'ont même pas le minimum. Hein.
The 3 young men killed in St Louis are just some of the 13 people, mostly Indigenous Kanaks, who have died in the unrest since it began in May. Sparked by proposed changes to the voting rolls, which many Kanak people feared would reduce their influence at the polls, the riots have caused an estimated €1.2 billion in damage. Back in Noumea, critical infrastructure is still being repaired. This secondary school was one of many damaged during the unrest.
2 collèges qui ont été concernés et plusieurs écoles primaires qui ont été détruites.
The way forward for them and many others is unclear.
Des incertitudes sur notre capacité budgétaire à pouvoir faire face à tous les travaux qui sont en cours. Et puis il y a aussi beaucoup d'élèves, et ça c'est vraiment notre souci particulier, qui n'ont pas rejoint pour l'instant leurs établissements scolaires.
These volunteers are donating their time.
Donc l'opération aujourd'hui qui a lieu, c'est une opération de transfert de mobilier donc, du lycée dans lequel on est, le lycée Pedro Atiti, vers une école un peu plus loin. Ce sont des jeunes qui possèdent tous un diplôme, tous qui sont passés, en tout cas quelques-uns sont passés par l'établissement ici, d'où le fait qu'ils soient contents d'être là pour donner un coup de main.
Much of the unrest was abated, but tensions are high. An estimated 35,000 people are out of work, and not everyone is hanging around. After spending most of his life here, videographer Hugo Quacolo is one of many residents returning to France.
Je me suis jamais senti en danger pour ma vie, je me suis jamais dit que fallait que je rentre chez moi avant telle heure, sinon on risquait de prendre un cocktail Molotov sur la voiture, on risquait de se faire carjacker et de se faire menacer.
His work's dried up and the career his partner was studying for now seems uncertain.
Moi j'avais mes clients, moi ça fait 20 ans que j'ai toute ma vie ici, je me voyais pas partir. Et là au final, comme ni elle ni moi on a de travail, on est obligé de partir. Je me suis dit directement, ok, ça veut dire que je suis plus à ma place, que j'ai plus rien à faire ici, et c'est chiant parce que moi j'aime cette île, j'aime cette ville. Moi 90% de ma vie j'ai connu que ça. Pour les gens qui n'ont pas eu les moyens de partir ou qui ont choisi de rester, économiquement ça va être désastreux. Plus ça va et plus il y a des gens qui partent. J'espère revenir ici peut-être dans quelques années et que la situation se soit calmée.
Kanak leaders say French residents are victims too.
Le peuple kanak n'est pas venu vous chercher, non, c'est l'État français qui vous a amené ici, qui vous a installé sur des terres qui ont été volées. La France, voilà, c'est elle qui a causé tout ça. Nous, on est tous des victimes de l'histoire.
With New Caledonia facing so many challenges, some are concerned recent French elections have left a leadership vacuum. French President Emmanuel Macron called a snap parliamentary poll, but no party won a majority of seats. So, forming a new government has taken some time and delayed critical decisions.
The largest parliamentary group in the elections. It's an alliance of left-wing parties. However, President Macron refused to appoint their candidate, Lucie Castet, as the new Prime Minister. Instead, he's chosen a 73-year-old leader of the Conservative Party, Les Républicains, Michel Barnier. Barnier is fiercely opposed to independence in New Caledonia.
Key decisions only just announced by the new Prime Minister are to completely abandon the proposed constitutional changes to the electoral roll that sparked the riots, and to further postpone elections for New Caledonia's provincial assemblies and Congress to as late as November 2025.
A new period must now be opened, dedicated to the economic and social reconstruction of New Caledonia, and to the search for a political consensus on its institutional future, with respect for the convictions of everyone, the diversity of the Caledonian people.
But no financial package has been announced, with many concerned the new government won't allocate the €4 billion support package New Caledonia's parliament wants.
Thousands of people have lost jobs. Many businesses have been economically damaged or even shuttered. The nickel industry, the key sector of the economy, has been devastated by not just the current crisis, but the last year or two of problems around capital, around debt, around energy prices and competition with Indonesia. New Caledonia faces tough times, and in spite of divisions on many issues, both supporters and opponents of independence have been lobbying Paris to get their act together and make commitments.
Macron a décidé que Kanaky Nouvelle Caledonia, elle doit rester française. Et elle a dit aussi qu'elle est ici pour ses intérêts. Donc voilà, c'est le nickel, c'est l'axe Indo-Pacifique, c'est toutes les richesses qu'il y a sur la Kanaky Nouvelle Caledonie, mais elle n'est pas là pour la population.
To discuss the latest developments in New Caledonia, we're joined by Jimmy Nauna, the leader of the pro-independence Palika Party. Bonjour, Jimmy. Thank you for joining us.
Bonjour. Thank you.
Pro-independence leaders have consistently said they've lost faith in negotiations with France on a path forward on independence. Now, the French Prime Minister has just announced a fresh team of senior politicians who will travel to New Caledonia to restart those talks. What does the movement want from them?
Well, basically, what we've been asking for the past 3 to 6 months, we started this whole peaceful protest way back before May 13th. So what we've been calling for up to May 13th is basically one, to withdraw that electoral reform bill, and two, to send in a high-level independent mission from Paris. And this is what the new Prime Minister has committed to. So had they committed to and heard our call before May 13th, all this wouldn't have happened. We've lost 13 lives, 2,000 jobs, about 200 businesses closed down, and about 10,000 people leaving the country. All that because of Macron's stubborn position on the electoral reform. And today, the new Prime Minister has announced that this reform bill will be dropped, and that the new high-level independent mission, or at least high-level mission from Paris, will be set in, and this is what we've been calling for the past 6 months. Well, let's now, restart the discussion and the political negotiations for the new agreement.
The independence movement has been through a lot recently. Young people have shown they want their voices heard too. Do you think it's time for younger leaders to step up?
Yes, definitely. I mean, out of this crisis, there's a new leadership that's being called for. One of the announcements made in Paris last night by the new Prime Minister is that the provincial elections that are due to be held by 15 December of this year will be deferred to next year, 2025. So hopefully we'll see some new younger generations, stepping up for the next elections. Definitely there needs to be new leadership. But coming back to the political talks, there still needs to be some continuity in negotiations from the last discussion we had in Paris to reach a new agreement. At the last recent Pacific Island Forum summit in Tonga, we did confirm the high-level independent mission from the FORC to visit this month in New Caledonia. So again, that's an important step forward for us, to have the region keep monitoring and the political process in New Caledonia. I think definitely there needs the region to play a more proactive role in monitoring the situation and in helping New Caledonia out of the crisis and move New Caledonia forward to a new political status within the region.
Thank you, Jimmy, for your time. Oleti.
Thank you, Oleti.